Take a look at this. You see it? Yep. The Nintendo GameCube is one of Nintendo's worst selling consoles.
Wait, what?
How is this masterpiece one of Nintendo's worst consoles? I can't take that as a fact. I always wanted to talk about this console, so let's bring back the GameCube's life. It's the late 1990s. The 5th generation of consoles is coming to an end with the Sony PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and the Nintendo 64. So you know what that means.
It's time for a new console.
We all know Sony did really well with the PlayStation with better specs, hardware, and outsold the Nintendo 64 by a big margin. Sega had already released the Dreamcast in 1998, which started the 6th generation of consoles. Nintendo's next console had a project name called Project Dolphin. They called it Project Dolphin because the processor was made by RX, which was bought by ATI later on, called the Flipper. The Dolphin has been an Easter egg throughout a couple of the GameCube's games. Next thing you know, in E3 2001, the Nintendo GameCube was revealed. Oh look, a new kid in the block. When the GameCube was revealed, they showed the presentation with Super Smash Bros. Melee as an introduction to the consoles. The people who were there got to try out the GameCube and a few demo games. By the end of that, the GameCube was released in Japan in September of that year and 2 months later on the NTSC and then in May 2002 in the rest of the world. And thus the GameCube in my possession. The GameCube comes with different types of colors, which are blue, black, platinum, and with limited editions in Europe and Japan. In front, you got your 4 controller ports and 2 memory card slots, which creates 2 faces. It has a little handle on the back for some reason. Right below that is the power and video cable ports. It looks like a lunchbox at this point. On the top, you got the typical power reset and open tray disc buttons. On the bottom, you got expandability, which we'll talk about later. It's compact, it looks great. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is a cube. So the point of this design is to make it mobile so you can bring it to another room or to your friend's house. Nintendo moved on from game cartridges and upgraded to mini discs, half the size of a regular DVD disc. This is due to Nintendo not wanting any privacy, but it does reduce the storage capacity, which is a downfall.
That's why third-party games have to have 2 discs in order to play these games.
It's also a requirement to have the memory card in order to save your games, just like what the PlayStation had to deal with. Today's modern consoles don't have to deal with this because they have storage built into the console. Moving on to the controller, the original GameCube controller prototype was a bit more obtuse. The A button was blue, the B button was a jelly bean shaped like the X and Y buttons, and the color was green, and there was no D-pad, just the start button. The second prototype had a D-pad and the start was moved to the middle. Then we got the official one, which is a work of art. This is one of the most iconic controllers in all gaming. It may look weird to other people, but it's really comfortable. There's even a wireless version called the Wavebird controller. I had 2 of these, one is back in Washington and one's in Germany.
Why is it in Germany? It's because my brother has a GameCube over there and I gave him my other one. He also has my Mario Kart game and I can just imagine him and his wife enjoying the living crap out of that thing.
There are so many different varieties of colors. Of course, you got the colors corresponding to the consoles, which is very easy to find. And all of these exclusive colors in different regions, events, and prizes. You got orange, emerald, clear, blue and clear, the Mario theme, Luigi theme, Wario theme, and so many different varieties of colors out there.
It was even re-released a couple times for the following Smash games and lives on to the following generations of consoles. Alright, now after all that, let's turn this thing on.
Oh my god, the nostalgia. As you can tell, Nintendo wanted to be unique with the intro screens. To access the menu, hold the B button and the GameCube will just spin into the menu. Or just don't put a disc in and it'll automatically go to the menu. Or just leave the disc tray open. Well, if you hold down the Z button on the Player 1 controller, it will play a childish jingle. And if you press the Z button in all 4 controllers, it will have a Japanese themed jingle. Yeah, try doing that by yourself. Before going to the games, I just want to show the box art. Seeing this as a little kid got me satisfaction whenever I looked at these. I look at these boxes seeing the characters from front to back. It's just satisfying to see Mario and the gang hanging out and having a good time.
The top left corner can show what games are compatible with what accessories.
Looking at them now just brings back those memories. Okay, moving on. The GameCube does have less libraries of games, but once you play them, then you can see why. It has by far the strongest library of games. The GameCube has a lot of big hits like Mario games, Smash Bros, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Pac-Man, F-Zero, and so on. So many unique games that belong to this console. The graphics are a step up from the last generation. It started out pretty crusty in the beginning, but later at the end of its life, it has improved. During the GameCube's life, Nintendo had to do some remodeling with their mascots. Mario and Yoshi as an example were a big improvement, and later with the rest of the Nintendo cast. Fun fact, this is the first Nintendo console to launch that doesn't include a Mario game, but a Luigi game. Mario's Missing does not count.
Luigi's Mansion.
It's Mario and Luigi winning a mansion, and when Mario arrives there, he has gone missing. So Luigi has to find Mario to save him. This pretty much introduced the new character named King Boo, the king of all boos. Just like my car's name. Just Luigi going around the mansion and capturing ghosts to save Mario.
Not gonna lie, when I first played the game at the age of 7, when Luigi's first encounter when one of the ghosts made me scream and shart myself.
Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is still played to this day because of the competitive scene. A sequel to the original Smash Bros. On the Nintendo 64. It was the first GameCube game to be revealed and most people got hyped up. It has the original 12 characters with 14 newcomers. Smash Bros. Is not only bringing the characters together, brawling it out, but it's also bringing Nintendo franchises into one game and discovering hidden gems throughout the Nintendo world. It brought in more Nintendo characters even if they were put in trophies.
Going through this shows a lot of Nintendo characters, items, and what year they were released in and more. We got Super Mario Sunshine as the 3D Mario game introducing Flood.
This is pretty much the sequel to Super Mario 64, but instead of going to Peach's castle, you're going through the Delfino Plaza for a vacation until Mario was accused of polluting the Delfino Square, but little did he know there was a Shadow Mario taking his identity. You got Mario Kart Double Dash where you can play 2 characters on one cart with their own special character items. The roster has more than double playable characters compared to the last Mario Kart game with multiple new characters and some exclusives. It's nice to have their own combination of characters to make whatever annoying player you want to be. No other Mario game has this to this day. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door is the sequel to the Paper Mario RPG game in the Nintendo 64. This game has an edge to it that you wouldn't expect.
There's a lot of background histories on some of the characters. So many stories that fall into the plot and I get so attached to the game easily. It has all these different chapters with different vibes and it's so amusing.
The Mario Party games, that is still way better than the modern Mario Party games. Way faster pace and is able to take more turns. Throughout the GameCube's life, there's 4 Mario Party games that were released in this console. 4! It introduced an exclusive character named Kid Koopa.
This guy's a playable character in Mario Party 5 and 6 and is later an assistant to Bowser in Mario Party 7.
But you never really got to see him outside this game. Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7 had an accessory which is a microphone. It connects to the memory card slot and you would have to speak on it.
This thing didn't do too good and only a few games were compatible with it, but hey, it's there.
The Mario Sports games were a big hit too, especially Mario Strikers with their badass goal shot. Even with the Mario Sports games, they give unique abilities to some or not all the characters.
These games feature almost all the characters from the Mario series, Luigi's Mansion series, Donkey Kong series, Yoshi series, and put them together and have a fun time playing sports.
I wish they added warrior characters like Ashley or something. Instead, he has his other enemies just to fill in the spots. What? You weren't expecting the Piranha to be a playable character? And Piranha Plant is a viable character in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Come on, Nintendo.
Talking about the sports games, the GameCube is the only console that has SSX on Tour and NBA Street to feature Mario, Luigi, and Peach to the rosters.
Yep, only Nintendo. Of course you can't play them in the main story mode, but they are playable in the quick plays. Can you even imagine Mario playing basketball with Kobe Bryant? Or have Mario doing these monster tricks on a snowboard? I sure didn't.
Soul Calibur did the same thing with Link as the guest character.
It's nice to see Link outside of the Smash Bros. Games. He even has his signature moves from the Zelda games.
Just stuff like that was able to get a lot of people's attention just to buy the game, and it's a good feature too.
I mean, it got me into the games. Just imagine Sony doing it with Crash or Xbox with Master Chief. I mean, they did add Yoda to the game at one point. For the Pokemon games with Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, these are the only games in the 3rd generation of Pokemon that have Johto region Pokemon, and you are able to trade these Pokemon games to your Game Boy Advance with the link cable from the GameCube to the Game Boy Advance. I personally haven't played these games yet, but I will eventually. They did have a bonus disc featuring Jirachi with some trailers and the actual legendary Pokemon, Jirachi.
Just use the link cable and transfer it to your Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire games. I got addicted again.
Speaking of the Game Boy link cable, you've got expandability with a handful of games. You can unlock certain characters, events, use it as another screen, or even use it as a controller. Wait, Where have I seen this before? Remember the expansion port on the bottom? So there's an adapter called the Game Boy Player. Connect it in the bottom, screw it in, and the GameCube is a perfect cube now. The Game Boy Player comes with a boot up disc, which you have to have.
Wham, wham, thank you ma'am. Game Boy on your TV. Now technically you own 2 Game Boys.
You can even connect your Game Boy Advance as a controller if you have the GameCube to a Game Boy Advance link cable. There is another expansion accessory, which is a LAN adapter. With a couple games, the GameCube is able to connect to other GameCubes with a broadband adapter. Just imagine playing 8 players on Mario Kart Double Dash. I wish I'm able to do that.
I've yet to own these games that I have on my screen, but I do plan on purchasing them eventually. I can go on and on talking about the games, but here's what I'm trying to point out.
Nobody really appreciates this console for what it is and what it has to offer. So many memories playing this console and a lot of fun times too. This is the most memorable console in the 6th generation. Sure, the PS2 is an outstanding console, but it hasn't been talked about that much. It's always been the triple titles on modern consoles. The one mostly talked about is the GameCube.
This was the best for parties and everyone can just enjoy this.
Hell, even my little brother played it and he got attached to it real quick. Just stuff like that can bring anyone into the experience the GameCube offers. So many unique titles, so many fun games, so many single player games, it just goes on.
A lot of nostalgia hits you when playing this console, and if you want a GameCube for your own, let's see how much this thing is.
Oh! Yeah, the GameCube didn't do too well in the market. The PS2 was already released the year before during the GameCube's release day, and everybody had a PS2 because it was a cheaper DVD player, which led people to buy one. Of course, you can't put a DVD on a GameCube. Originally, the GameCube came out at a retail price of $199.99, then later on $999.99 with a copy of Smash Bros. Melee, and now the GameCube is at that price again. If you take a look at the charts, the GameCube has less sales than the successful consoles, except for the Wii U. The reason behind this is because the GameCube looks a little kid-friendly, just like how they advertise for the Wii U. The GameCube is a bit confusing for outsiders since it does look like a toy. Even if you look at the controller, it does look kinda toy-like with the colors on the buttons. So you rather have a console that looks like this, or this?
Less consoles were made, which means less consoles were sold, which means that the demand for the games are gonna go up in value.
It's about $100 for a Smash Bros. Game, way more than the original retail price. With only little re-releases, a majority of these games can't be played in any later Nintendo consoles. If you think about it, the original Xbox is very cheap to buy in a retro game store, and the games cost around $5 to $20.
I don't think it was a good comparison because the Xbox sold slightly better than the GameCube.
Another alternative to playing the GameCube is with the Nintendo Wii.
It is backwards compatible, so it was able to play GameCube games.
Just make sure it's the original Wii and not the later Wii consoles because they don't have the GameCube ports on the top of the console.
The only downside of this is that the Wii is not compatible with the Game Boy player. Yeah, try to find that slot down there. Also, you're able to play the GameCube games on 1440p resolution with the Wii component cables.
If you take a look, the GameCube component cables are— oh! I have talked about this in a previous video, so you know a little bit about this.
If you gotta use the Dolphin emulator to play GameCube games, then go ahead.
Just get the GameCube USB adapter and you should be good. Sure, I use a Nintendo emulator to play Super Smash Bros. Melee online. Nintendo, I have the physical copy, don't sue me. But I like to have the real deal to show and prove to people that I own the console, I own the game, I have a car, I'm in California.
I love this thing. A lot of expandability while playing this console. I like going back to this console because of the connectivity between the GameCube and Game Boy Advance. And I just wanted to play the games and play these two together. Wait, why is this bright?